welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Jacklyn and I like to talk about books. In today's video, we are going to be going through every single book that I have read in 2025. So that's exciting. I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet because I don't want to just ramble on forever, and I probably could about some of these books especially. But yeah, I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet. I am reading off my iPad here if you see me looking down, just to keep track of all the books that I'm going to go through. I'm going to start with all the physical books that I've read so far, then I'm going to jump into audiobooks and books that I've read on the Kindle. It's going to be a little bit all over the place. They're in no particular order, so that is what we are going to do. Starting off, we are going to start with Really Good Actually by Monica Heasley. Oh my god, you're going to see me double checking names so many times in this video. I'm awful with names, but I'm trying. I gave this 4 stars. I quite enjoyed it. It is funny. It's got a lot of humor in it. I don't think it's anything extraordinary or the writing is anything super impactful, but I did enjoy this and I did find it funny. I might pull these down and I can restart these so that you can see them. Next one is Someone Else's Bucket List by Amy T. Matthews. This I gave 2 stars. I didn't enjoy it. It started off really good. Like, I started tabbing it, if you can see at the start there, and then it kind of just like fizzled out because I was just getting really over it by the end of it. I just wanted it to be done. I struggled to DNF things, so I just kept pushing through and finished it. 2 stars. I wouldn't really recommend. It has some good points in it. It's a struggling marriage, a struggling family. It's a woman going somewhere to look after her mother and trying to deal with the trauma of her past. I just didn't enjoy it. So it fell flat for me. 2 stars. Heartstrong by Elodie Poulin. This is non-fiction, so this is a true story about am I supposed to tell you what every single one of these books is about? Anyway, we'll just keep going. So this is about a woman and her partner. He ends up passing away, and before how do you even explain what happens in this? He passes away and the doctors give his partner, Elodie, a chance to take his sperm and have a child. So that's what she ends up doing, and you're just following the story of her dealing with her grief and raising a child and all of the things that encompass that. This was really good. It's heartbreaking and quite emotional, but if you are dealing with grief and you're also trying to just make it through in life, this was really good. I didn't give it a rating because I don't want to rate that. This is someone's real experience. Then I'm going to chuck these 2 together. Fourth Wing and Onyx Storm. Fourth Wing is a reread for me because this was one of our book club books this year. So I reread this, and then Onyx Storm came out and I read this. I recommend this whole series. Excuse me, can't speak. I recommend this whole series. I think it's really entertaining. It's really fun. There's teenage drama, high school drama, there's relationships, there's dragons, there's fighting, there's magic. It's just fun. I don't think the world building in this is great. I don't think the writing is the best in the entire world. I just think it's really fun. So yes, I love these. The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. This is fantastic. I didn't give it 5 stars. I think I gave it 4.5, but Kristen Hanna is amazing. If you like history, literary fiction, historical fiction, women, strong individual women going through hell, basically. Women who go through hell and get out of it. Women who go through hell and just survive and keep on surviving. Read Kristen Hanna because she is fabulous. Her writing is great. This one in particular is about a young girl who moves with her family to Alaska, and it just follows the story of how she deals with that and how she becomes a woman living in such tumultuous times and living in such an unforgiving environment. Yeah, basically grows up and how her life goes, and this is really good. It's heartbreaking. 4.5 stars. On to the next stack. I lost the dust jacket to this, but it is 6 Crimson Cranes by by Elizabeth Lim. I gave this 4 stars. I think it was really fun, and it's a little bit young. The writing in it is quite young. I had a really nice time with this. It was interesting. It's from a culture and beliefs and stuff that I have absolutely no idea about, so that was cool to learn about. It follows a princess who ends up getting a spell cast on her, like a curse, and she then has to go and figure out a way to survive and save her brothers, because her brothers get swept up in this whirlwind of a story. I thought it was really sweet. I have not read on in the series. This is the first in the series, and I honestly haven't heard great things about the next books in the series, but we'll see if I end up getting to those. Reread for me, Magnolia Parks, which is the first book in the Magnolia Parks universe series by Jessa Hastings. I absolutely love this series. I know there's a bit of controversy around Jessa Hastings at the moment, but I really love her writing. I really love her work. So I'm just going to keep raving about Magnolia Parks. This is great. This is kind of like Gossip Girl. It's really toxic. It is back and forth drama of relationships and friendships, and it's just addictive. It is really addictive, but the writing in this is what really draws me in, because I just get sucked in by good writing. If I can highlight things and take quotes and write them down for myself and just really love the writing that makes me feel something deep within my chest, that is what sucks me in. That is what I think is a good book, and I have highlighted a lot in this book because I just love the way she writes. Eyes glassy, bottom lip quivering, heart on her sleeve, mine in her pocket. When I kiss Tom, I just feel like me, a lost version of me, maybe a concussed one, but still me. Get out. I love these books. Read them if you have not. Next one is Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton, and honestly can't remember anything about this book. This is non-fiction, I believe. It's non-fiction, it's just stories from her life, everything she's learned about love, I guess. Parties, dates, friends, jobs, life, love, everything she's learned about love, and I didn't love it, which is kind of, you know, shitty of me. Can I swear on here? I didn't give it a rating either because non-fiction, I don't really rate non-fiction. Then we have a reread of All the Light We Cannot See. If you have not heard me talk about this book, where have you been? If you sit in front of me, I'll probably talk about this book because I love it so much. I just love this book. I think I could, this is the type of book where I could read it. When I first read it 3 years ago, I read it again this year. I think I could read it 5 years in advance, 10 years, 50 years, and I would still love it. I would still find something in it that makes me inside. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, I just love this book. I've already explained what this book is about in previous videos, so if you have listened or watched those, maybe skip this part, but quickly I'll go over it. It is World War II. You're in Paris and you're in Germany, and you're following a little boy and you're following a blind girl. She is fully blind, can't see anything, and she is going through the war. Already her life is hard, and then you throw her in the war, and the way that Anthony Doerr can describe her surroundings when she can't even see, describe how she feels things and hears things, it is just beautiful. The world that he creates. I know it's in war, so it's not beautiful, but it is beautiful. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of perspective changes in this. You kind of have to really absorb yourself in the world so that you can follow it and know what's happening. Oh my God, stunning piece of art. If I could frame this and put it on a wall and sell it for millions and millions of dollars, I would. The Heart is a Star by Megan Rogers. I believe this is a debut for this author, and I gave this 3.5 stars. I think it was okay. I think I just kind of fell out of love with it. I think the writing is really, really good, but I just got maybe like 3/4 of the way through it and I started getting a bit bored and it was like dragging on. So I gave it 3.5 stars because I think the writing was really good. I did tab a fair bit of it, but yeah, I just got lost in the story and I found it a bit boring. It is struggling mother, struggling marriage. They're struggling to figure out their marriage and she ends up going away to look after her mother because her mother is sick. It just follows the woman, I can't remember her name, Layla. I do think it was good. It just wasn't my cup of tea. The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. I freaking love this book. I gave it 5 stars. I think you can go into Jessa Hastings books expecting there to be a bit of drama and a bit of messiness because her characters just seem to thrive on drama and messiness, but I absolutely loved this. I loved the psychology in this. She is a human lie detector. So the main character, Georgia, I believe her name is, yes, Georgia. She is like a human lie detector and she goes and spends some time with her family because someone ends up passing away. So she goes back to stay with her family and they are just filled with drama, I guess. You know, she's got a struggling sibling who struggles with addiction and she ends up meeting this guy and it is kind of like insta love. I would say it is pretty much like she looks at him and falls in love, but I didn't mind it at all. I really loved it and the way that it's portrayed and explained within the story, it made sense to me and I just ate it up. I absolutely loved this. Tabbed the living heck out of it. So much fun. Again, loved the writing. I just love Jessa Hastings' writing. I feel like she takes the way my thoughts ramble on in my brain and she just puts them down on a piece of paper and I just love feeling like someone is expressing my feelings for me because then I don't have to do it. Our Infinite Fades by Laura Steven. This is really hype and while I thought it was good, I gave it 3 stars. While I thought it was good and fun, I don't think it deserved the amount of hype that people were giving it online. I just thought it was okay. Yeah, I just thought that this was missing something. Maybe if it was longer. It's quite short, so it is quite a short story. The writing is quite lovely as well. I did highlight a few things. This is a fantasy and it follows these 2 characters that find each other in every life. So they keep getting reincarnated and then they find each other and basically they end up killing each other. And you're kind of following along with the story and straight away it talks about how big their love is and how they're just connected to each other's souls and how beautiful and big and wonderful it is. But they don't actually give you any backstory onto how they got so in love. They're just in love straight away. And you're like, well, how did we get here? And you're having like flashbacks from the past. So I'm thinking like, as I'm reading, you're in the past. So you're like, okay, it's gonna happen. Like you're gonna find that connection of why they're so in love and something's gonna happen. And I don't know, they'll have their first kiss. I don't know, but it just never happened. So I was like, I don't buy it. That's how I felt. I was like, I don't buy it. They're not in love. They're just killing each other. Anyway, 3 stars. Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher. This is book 2 in the Lakefront Billionaires series and I really like this series. I think this book was slightly too long. Not by heaps, but slightly too long. I think it could have been slightly shorter. I loved the tropes in this. I loved the mental health, single dad nanny trope. So if you like that, enjoy. I think this was really well put together and really well written. I loved, you know, both characters have a lot of depth. They become friends before they create any sort of connection and it is really beautiful story. The female main character in this is a songwriter and she's dealing with some trauma from her songwriting and things that happened to her because of it, and she's trying to get through that. And then the single dad, Raphael his name is, he is a billionaire and he's got his son and he's just trying to navigate their relationship, get close with his son while also running a business and trying to keep the family together, I guess, when there's no mother in the picture. I gave it 4 stars. Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I gave this 4.5 stars. It wasn't quite a 5-star for me. I love Emily Henry. I love her books. I've only given one of her books 5 stars and that is Funny Story. this was cool. This was interesting. I liked this story. I liked the connection of the two main characters and their relationship building throughout the story. Basically, they both go and interview this woman because she's hugely famous and she's finally going to do a tell-all and give her story to one of the two interviewing her, so the two main characters. And I don't think the reveal or the story of the famous woman in this was anything remarkable. It's nothing crazy. It's kind of just like real life stuff, but obviously her being super famous added that drama element to it. Regardless of that, I didn't really read it for her story. I read it for the female and the male main characters and their love story, and I really enjoyed it. Thought it was really well done. Definitely recommend. 4.5 stars. Taming 7 by Chloe Walsh. I'm gonna grab this. I gave 4.5 stars. I love Gibbsy. I love him. He has my heart in a little jar. There's not much I can do about it. I just love the funny guy who's actually traumatized. That does it for me. That's scary. Love Gibbsy. This, 4.5 stars. This I gave 3.5, I believe. If you have made it this far in the series, like, kudos to you. Like, you're probably not going to not read on because you've made it this far. Like, that's a hell of a commitment to make. These books are all like 900 pages. So if you've read 6 books, like, you're just not going to ditch them, are you? No, we're not going to ditch these people. No, we love them. We love these characters. I love these characters. This just wasn't, what's the word? While I still loved this and I still love the characters and I appreciate all the mental health and trauma and everything that Chloe Walsh puts in her books, I love it all. It didn't bring out all those emotions that it normally does, and that's what I really needed. I needed the emotions of it. Maybe it's because it's really traumatizing that I kind of like removed myself from the story to get through it, and then I wasn't as connected. This was hard to read. It was really hard to read. Please check your trigger warnings before you go into this series because it is heavy. My camera battery is about to die. I will talk to you later. Jump scare. I hope the lighting is okay. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to finish recording yesterday because my camera battery died, and then my daughter ended up waking up, and then my husband came home from work, and snowball effect, the day just got away from me. So it's now the next day and we're just going to continue on from where we're up to and keep going through all the books that I've read in 2025. We were up to 1984 by George Orwell. I gave this 3.5 stars. It's a different take on things that are still pretty relevant in today's society, and I did find this really interesting, but I just think the writing wasn't my style, so I didn't enjoy it as much as what I could have, I believe. Then we have Beartown. I'm gonna put these together, and I have also read the third book, which is The Winners. I just don't have a physical copy of it because every time I go to the bookstore it's sold out. I will get my hands on it one day. The Beartown trilogy is probably one of the greatest trilogies I've ever read in my entire life, and I highly recommend these books. I think they're fantastic. The writing is amazing. The story, check your trigger warnings. It has so much depth. The characters, some of my favorite characters in the whole wide world. I adore them, and I just think Frederick Buckman has this way of making you just root for the people and the town, and you just want to believe in them. You just want to see them do well, and I don't know how he does it, but I just wanted these people to be okay and be happy. I love these books. I highly recommend. As for what this trilogy is about, it follows a small town, and one of the biggest things within the town is hockey, and the community is brought together by hockey, and they all surround themselves with it, and it follows lots and lots of different characters. There is a lot of point of view changes within the book, but you just love all of them. There's quite dark themes in this. There is hard things to read, so definitely check your trigger warnings and see what they are before you go into the book, because I don't think it gives you any sort of warning. I gave Beartown 4.5 stars, Us Against You 5 stars, and The Winners 5 stars as well. So then I read Fearless, which is the final book in the Powerless trilogy, and this kind of fell flat for me. I did give it 3.5 stars. I still thought it was fun. I still thought it was entertaining. From book one I thought was really, really good. I gave book 1 5 stars, and then from there, the novella, book 2, and then book 3, they just kind of dwindled off for me. They just fell flat. I think it lost its charm, maybe. I don't want to give spoilers, but it's just filled with a lot of tropes that are used very often, and while the writing is poetic and beautiful, I just lost interest, I guess. I just lost interest as the story went on. Moving on, we have Bride by Ali Hazelwood. Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This is the first book of hers that I actually read. I hadn't read any Ali Hazelwood before this. I don't know if this was the best book to go into for a first Ali Hazelwood. I gave this 3 stars. I enjoyed it. It's a bit odd. I don't know anything about the, what is it called? Omegaverse? Is that right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I actually have no idea. I didn't know what this is about. It was on my bookshelf and I felt like reading it. So this was interesting. I don't know if I'll read anything like it ever again. Quite spicy if you're into spice. I'm not super into spice, but I thought it was fun. All the Beautiful Things by Katrina Nanestad. Don't know if I ever pronounced that right. An Aussie author. I really liked this book. It is middle grade, so it's quite young. It's written for a young audience, but I still really enjoyed it. It follows a young girl and her family surviving World War II and what they go through to protect the people around them and make sure that they're okay. And it's just really beautiful. It is a lovely, lovely story about kindness, doing the right thing despite the challenges that you face. And for children, it gives great perspective of maybe you can see somebody doing the wrong thing, but also that perspective of them just doing what they think they need to do to survive. And obviously it's World War II, so it's extreme circumstances, but I think it does a really, really good job of showing that, especially to a younger audience. The Hunger Games. I'm late. I'm late to the game. I admit my faults. I'm not perfect, but I have read book 1 now. And I'm about to jump into book 2 when I finish my next read. Don't come at me. I don't know why I haven't read it sooner. I gave this 4.5 stars. I have seen all the movies, but I think that just enhanced my love for the book because this is great and I will be reading on. If you don't know what this is about, I'm just going to assume that everyone knows what this is about. Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, and this I also really enjoyed. I am not a huge romance girl. I definitely read romance and I like them. I never seem to give them like great ratings, especially if it's like a healthy romance. That says a lot about me, my god. I like a bit of toxicity, I like a bit of drama, I like when people are a bit messed up and they're just trying to do their best. While these people in this book have mental health issues and it does follow them on their journey dealing with their traumas and really hard things that they have to do, it is still just a beautiful love story. So I only gave this 3.5 stars. And I do recommend it. It is really good, and Abby Jimenez is a great writer. She's up there with the best. I love her books. I've read quite a few of them now. This one follows Justin and Emma, and I have a reading vlog on this book if you want to go and watch that. This was really sweet. It's just I struggle to rate romance higher when I'm more of a like high stakes fantasy girl at heart. My Friends by Frederick Bachman. 5 stars. Are you getting the theme? Is anyone catching on to the drill? Read this author. Read his books. You won't regret it, okay? You won't regret it. This was 5 stars. It follows a girl, Louisa, and then it follows 3 friends when they were younger, 14 I believe they were when they became friends. it's just the story of them growing up, having fantastic friendships and surviving their teenage years together and all the things that they go through, because they definitely go through some rough stuff. They have a lot of trauma and they're just dealing with it, but it really is just a story about friendship and love and how friendship can get you through anything. If you have really good friends, you can survive, and it is beautiful. It is really beautiful story. Definitely recommend this one. Alright, moving on to audiobooks. Starting off with Emma, which is a classic, and it follows her journey into adulthood and becoming a woman back in the day. I gave it 3 stars. I'm not a huge classics person. I love Little Women, and that's basically it. If you are really into classics and like that style of writing, I think it's a good story. Then I listened to Watermelon by Marion Keyes, and this was a journey of motherhood, relationships, and the dynamic of being a single mother and trying to get out there and live your life and date while also look after your child. It was good. I liked the audiobook. I don't know if I would have read it as a physical book. I probably would have maybe got bored, but listening to it on audio was quite nice. I then read 2 non-fiction. So I read Beyond the Wand by Tom Felton and The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. Beyond the Wand, I don't usually give non-fiction ratings, so these don't have ratings, but Beyond the Wand I would recommend if you are a fan of Harry Potter, because it's just fun to be in the Harry Potter world. Then for The Let Them Theory, I enjoyed it. I think it's one of those situations where it's easier said than done, but I think she has some really, really good points, especially about like friendship and the dynamic changes when you go through different phases of life and growing up, going through your 20s. I think she has some really good points about that. So if you're like me and you struggle with friendships in your early 20s, I think it is a really good one, because it just shows you how to create better friendships and how to make them more significant in your life, and what you can do yourself to, keep the glass half full rather than half empty. Keep yourself positive about situations, even when you're in the trenches and struggling. It definitely taught me some things, and I'm actually re-listening to it at the moment because it's our book club's book of the month for July. So I am re-listening to it, and it's definitely picking up those things again. Then I read Sher, part 1 of her I didn't read it. I got something in my eye. I listened to Sher part 1. I don't recommend this book. I love Sher. I think she's so cool, but her memoir about her life, unless you're like a mega fan, I wouldn't recommend it, because it was purely stating facts. There was no depth, there was no emotion, there was no explaining how the things she went through made her feel a certain way and made her change and grow into the person that she became. Like, this is Cher we're talking about. She's like one of the most famous people in the world. There was no emotion. She was just saying, I went to the shop and I bought this outfit, and then that became my signature outfit. I cut my hair like this and that became my signature hairstyle. He was my boyfriend, and then he was my husband, and we had a kid together, then we broke up. Like, there was no, tell me how it made you feel. Tell me why it broke your heart. Don't just say it broke your heart. Tell me why. Tell me how. Give me the inside scoop. Anyway, I don't recommend it. It wasn't enjoyable for me at all. Then I listened to Don't Look Back by J.P. Pommer. This is a thriller, and I don't enjoy thriller. I don't find them entertaining. I don't like the anxiety. This was pretty much exactly that. I didn't really enjoy it. I gave it 2.5 stars. It follows a woman who goes through a situation and then has to go into hiding, basically, and she moves to New Zealand and lives on a farm and doesn't talk to anybody. It kind of just snowballs from there. A man is hunting her. It was kind of predictable. It wasn't anything crazy. I listened to it End of story. Then I listened to another non-fiction, so no rating for this one either, but it is called The Mountain Is You by Brianna Wiest. This is the second time I've listened to this book. I have done a lot of rereads this year. I really like this book. It talks about self-sabotage and how you are preventing yourself from reaching your own goals and things that you want in life, how you're causing more harm than good to yourself by avoiding conflict and not putting yourself out there, not getting yourself, being well rested, drinking water, doing the little things in your life every day. It talks about how your brain self-sabotages yourself from doing the things that you really want to do. It is really good. I highly recommend. It's a little bit sciencey. It definitely dives into the brain and the gut and how that all intertwines and works together to keep you functioning. I highly recommend that one if you are into non-fiction, self-help, self-development type books like I am. Moving on to Kindle books. Torment Part 2. I read early this year, so I finished the first book, Part 1, end of December, and then I did Part 2 early January, so that's why both of them aren't included. But these are dark romance, and when I say dark, I mean dark. Check your trigger warnings. They are pretty heavy, full of hard things to read and things to picture in your mind. But if you are into dark romance, I think these are great. Definitely kept me hooked. I read Part 1 and went straight into Part 2. I was like, I need to know what's going to happen to these people. I don't want to give any spoilers, but it follows basically a girl, her mum marries into a gang, I guess you would call them, like a bikie club gang thing. I have no idea. I'm sorry. And she marries in, and then her daughter and the mother are then kind of trapped in this toxic environment, and they go through a lot of stuff that is definitely heavy and hard to read about, but I was hooked. I was definitely hooked. So if you want a book that's gonna pull you in and you just have to find out what's happening, definitely recommend Torment Part 1 and Part 2, but check your trigger warnings. I don't want to cause anyone to have any breakdowns over this, okay? Check them. Listen to me and check them. Then I read The Serpent and the Wings of Night on Kindle Unlimited by Carissa Broadbent. Loved it. 5 stars. It's like vampires. There's trials. There's games. There's a big hunk of an MMC. Loved him. Oh, he says some really good stuff. There's some good lines in that book from him. And yeah, I loved it. I loved the high stakes and the setting. It was like a vampire town, but they have the slums and ordinary people who are doing it hard because they're trying to survive in a vampire city. They have to go into these trials and they become teammates, allies. So it's kind of forced proximity. Love that. That being said, I've read book 1 and I read the novella, so we'll chuck the novella in here as well, 6 Scorched Roses. I gave that 4 stars. So book 1, 5 stars, novella, 4 stars. Have not touched book 2, haven't even looked at it with a 10-foot pole because every single review of it I see online, it's not good. It says it's bad. And I love Carissa Broadbent. Daughter of No World series, loved it. And I'm just scared. I'm scared to go into book 2. So if anyone has read it and actually enjoyed it, please let me know, because do I do it or do I just forget about this series? Let me know, please. Then I read The Valley by Chris Hammer, Australian author, I believe. Is he Australian? I hope so. I gave The Valley 3 stars. It's kind of like mystery thriller as well, which as we know is not in my wheelhouse. I don't enjoy them. And this one, it was our book club book, so that's why I read it, because I refuse to not read book club book. Not my favorite, but it was interesting, set in Australia, so it was cool to read about a book in my own country. It was about gold, which we mine gold here in Australia, so it was definitely on theme, and some hectic stuff happens and you have to solve the mystery. I am one of those readers who I never try and predict what's going to happen. I never try and figure it out. I'm just hopping in the car, along for the ride. I don't mind where we're going as long as we get there, you know? That's the type of reader I am. I wasn't trying to figure it out, and then the ending just kind of missed for me. But 3 stars. If you're into mystery, thriller, and you're an Aussie, you might really enjoy this. Then I read The Sword of Kaigan by M.L. Wang. Ugh, I'm so bad with names. I hate this. I think it's M.L. Wong. And then I just sound really Aussie when I say that. But 5 freaking stars. If you have me on Goodreads or Fable, my review of this book is quite funny because I was doing like timestamps every time I got to a different section. I struggled to get into it. Like, I was up to maybe 20% and I was like, do I DNF this? Because I was just like, what is going on? Like, was not into it at all in the start, and so many people messaged me being like, you just got to keep going, like just push past this part, it'll get better. And it did. It really, really did. And I'm glad that I kept reading and I listened to those people. So thank you if you're one of those people who messaged me saying you need to keep going. 5 stars. Highly emotional. Does a great depiction of motherhood and what it is like to be a mother, and your loss of identity when you kind of have kids and they grow up and they don't realize that you had an entire life before they were born. Like, you were an entire human being with your own things and did your own stuff. So it is a great depiction of that. And oh man, what a story. It has like war violence. It is high stakes. There's a little bit of magic. There's not tons of magic, but really, really good. Really, really good. Highly recommend. Heavenly Bodies by Imani Uru. I didn't love this one. It's a huge TikTok book. It just was not it for me. I thought the writing was really poor. I thought the editing of the book was really poor. It kept giving me whiplash. I didn't believe the love story whatsoever because it was like enemies to lovers, but it was like they hate each other. They want to kill each other. 2 seconds later, they're best buds. And I was like, what? No, I gave it 2 stars. I was probably being generous with 2 stars. I don't know why it's so hyped on TikTok. Moving on. The Prisoner of Azkaban by J.K. Rowling. So this is book 3 in the Harry Potter series, and I'm halfway through The Goblet of Fire. I never read Harry Potter as a kid, and I am sad that I didn't, because reading the books now, while I'm enjoying them and I think they're fun because it is fun to be in the world of Harry Potter, it's so magical, I am struggling because of how young the books are written. If I had read these when I was a kid, oh my god, I would be obsessed. I love Harry Potter. So I'm trying to read the books and make my way through them. I'm just struggling to rate them highly, but they are so fun. Yeah, I'm just enjoying the journey, I guess. Mainly, I read Harry Potter to my daughter before she falls asleep, and she's only 17 months now, so she has no idea what's going on with the world of Harry Potter, but it's fun for me to read to her and she just falls asleep listening to my voice, and that's what we do. Then I read City of Gods and Monsters by Kayla Edwards, and this was really fun. 4 stars. If you like fantasy, urban fantasy, and you like a slow burn romance, oh my god, you will love this. I think the world was really, really cool. All the fantasy animals, beings, vampires. I think they have like warlocks, angels, devils. It was really, really cool, and I can't wait to keep reading on in the series. So definitely recommend that one. Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan. I gave 5 stars. Please check your trigger warnings if you want to read this book. It does not shy away from like graphic detail of some pretty significant and dark stuff. Oh my god, I loved this story. I thought it was beautiful. I loved the writing. I loved that Kennedy Ryan didn't shy away from difficult things that women go through every single day. It was just wonderful and heartbreaking, and I was crying and sobbing, and if you love a good tearjerker, pick this up. Then I read Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry. This was another book club book. Cozy fantasy is not my thing. Don't get me wrong, I'm addicted to coffee. I love it, but reading about coffee for 300 pages, I was just bored. I was really bored. There was no high stakes. There was nothing crazy happening. I mean, it's a cool fantasy world, but they were just making coffees. Did have a good underlying message. I remember talking about that at book club. I remember saying that I liked the underlying message, but I can't even remember what that was. And there's an ambulance going off in the background. Sorry about that. That's all the books that I have read so far this year. We've made it. We made it through this massive list. I hope you got some insight into what I like to read, and the books that I've read so far this year have been very up and down. There's no consistency whatsoever in ratings, or, you know, and I don't think there ever will be really. We just pick up a book and hope we fall in love with it, don't we? If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed. I would love to have you. I don't know what else to say. If you made it this far, leave a cowboy hat emoji in the comments below. If you have any ideas or things that you would like me to make a video about, please leave that in the comments as well. I am always looking for new video ideas. I'm just winging this as I go, and yeah, I'm just trying my best to make it entertaining for you guys, and I have a lot of fun doing this, so I want to keep it going. Thank you so much for all your support, and I will see you in the next video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye!